A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Bernadine Jai Singha. Let's take a look at headlines.
Floods recede, inter-monsoon activates intermittent showers. World Humanitarian Summit to close today. Accidents in Ambalangoda kills 2, another 2 injured.
Floodwaters in many areas are reducing, however, certain areas are still affected by the inclement weather.
Visited the Mithotamulla area, the manner in which the locals were cleaning their houses was witnessed. The water level is receding slowly in the Gampaha district, Malwana, Mirigama, Nalla, Dulapitiya and other areas which were affected by the floods. Our correspondent stated that steps have been taken to clean the houses affected by the floods. A concrete dam of a house in Mavatura Gampola is on the verge of collapsing onto the Kotmale road. Our correspondent stated that it's 70 feet long. In addition, a spill gate of the Kotmale reservoir has been opened.
Locals in the Vilgamo Divisional Secretariat are constantly affected by the human-elephant conflict in the Matale district. Yesterday, a bus was presented is to meet the transportation requirement of the locals and also protect the lives of both man and elephant.
The bus was presented to the Vilgamo Divisional Secretariat by the Department of Wildlife and donors from the United States of America. Named as the Gajamithru Transport Service, the bus was vested with the public at an event held at the Pusselyaya Anandaramya temple yesterday. When there are elephants on the streets, the children find it difficult to reach the village. We have seen now how children climb onto trees for safety. This solution is very important. Elephants are a natural resource. We need to minimize the elephant-human conflict. The elephant is not an enemy, but a gift from history to us. The Department of Wildlife Conservation notes that 5 will operate on a distance of 5 kilometers between the Imbiliakara division and the Veheragala division. The route falls across an elephant pass and free transportation will be given to school children.
The sacred relics that were moved to the Sirasa John Keys Vesak zone were taken back to the Nelligala International Buddhist Center and the Maliga Kanda Agrasravaka temple today.
The sacred Agrashavaka relics of the Arahat Sariputta and Moggallana, which were brought from the Mahabodhi Agrashavaka temple in Maliga Kanda, Colombo, were returned to the temple this morning, following religious observances held at the MTV MBC head office premises. The Sarvana relics and the relics of the Maharahat Theros, which were brought to the Vesak zone from the Nelligala International Buddhist Center, were returned to the Buddhist Center today.
Today marks the final day of the first UN World Humanitarian Summit, which is taking place in Istanbul, Turkey. The Capital Maharaja Organization Limited is the only private sector organization representing Sri Lanka at the summit.
6,000 participants from 150 UN member states are taking part in the summit, including 57 heads of state or government. It aims to mobilize funds and get world leaders to agree on issues from better managing displaced civilians to renewing commitments to international humanitarian law. The closing ceremony taking place today will be participated by iconic figures, humanitarian activists and advocates too. Representing the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited, Group Director Siobhan Daniel is expected to make a statement at the summit today.
Have you ever faced an impossible choice? Like having to choose between medicine or food for your family? Or which one of your children to give the only life vest to?
Millions of people are faced with impossible choices like these every day.
Every day we receive more news, more footage, more facts, and it's hard to know what to do.
But there is an answer. This May, the first ever World Humanitarian Summit is happening.
The Capital Maharaj organization is proud to be the only Sri Lankan company to be represented at the world's first UN World Humanitarian Summit.
2 persons died and 2 others were injured in an accident in the Ambalangoda Usmudulava area.
This accident took place at around 9 last night near the Usmudulava junction, Ambalangoda. The accident was a result of a head-on collision between a motorbike travelling from Ambalangoda to Gaul and another travelling in the opposite direction. The 2 victims were residents of the Kuligoda area, aged 48 years and 54 years. The injured were admitted to the Balapitiya General Hospital. A car met with an accident near the Naya Pamula access in Baddegama on the Southern Expressway. Our correspondent reported that the car travelling from Gaul to Alpitia had veered off the road and crashed onto an electricity post. No casualties were reported.
A fire broke at a private factory in the 5th Mile Post area in Alutgama this morning. Our correspondent stated that a plywood manufacturing factory had caught fire. The 5th Brigade under the Kalutara Urban Council and the Valipana Police took measures to douse the fire. Police suspect that the cause to the fire was an electricity leakage. Now it's time to take a look at sports news. Sri Lankan cricketer Dushmantha Chameera has been ruled out of the next few matches in Sri Lanka's tour of England after sustaining an injury. That we wrap up Lunchtime News. I'm Bernadine Jayasinghe. Thank you for joining us. Take care.